and welcome to my 517 Follow Friday series. Today, I am talking with Bilky Joda-Miller from All Body Kneads. Bilky provides her clients with various massage services, including bamboo fusion and stone massages, and also offers doula services. Bilky, thank you so much for taking time to chat with me today.
Thank you for having me.
So I would just love to start out with kind of your background, learn a little bit more about you, and just share kind of what brought you here and started your path toward massage.
So I was born and raised in Nigeria, and at the end of high school, there was a scholarship I could do it to do an exchange student visa. So I did a little testing and stuff, and I got in, and I had options for the different states I could go in the US. And I chose to come to Michigan because I had always been fascinated by the Great Lakes, and I wanted to learn how to ski and ice skate. So that was the main reason I ended up in Michigan, and I went to Kalamazoo and Western Michigan University.
Okay. And I was kind of interested to see when I looked at your educational history and your certifications, you had like this balance of architecture, residential stuff, and then the massage. So tell me about this a little bit.
So what I studied was architecture and industrial design. My bachelor's degree is in actually industrial design. And I actually was working for Meyer.
Okay.
And had a diagnosis of breast cancer.
Oh,
And after the treatment and stuff, the only thing that really seemed to help get me back to 100% was massage.
wow.
And after my treatment, I decided that that's what I wanted to do. So I went back to school and became a massage therapist and started doing that part-time, continued working for Meyer until 2017. And then I resigned from Meyer and started doing massage full time.
Wow. I'm so sorry that you went through that, but I think that is that's just an amazing story. That's quite a motivation to have a career path, which was going to be my next question, and you already answered it. So the motivation obviously, has to do with helping other people who go through similar experiences.
Yeah, I actually also have a nonprofit that does massage for people facing challenges, mental and physical, that they can get massage either based on what they can donate or for free.
Very nice. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about your specific services and maybe highlight them in detail. I feel like the therapeutic massage, most people know that and they're familiar. We want to feel relaxed, so we're going to go get a massage. Um, what is the skinny massage? What is this?
The skinny massage is actually targeting your areas that you think are, for lack of a better word, overweight or not the way you want them,
Okay.
as far as tone, body tone, that kind of thing. So what we do is we actually, if you do just the skinny, which would involve actually a infrared sauna session for weight loss, and
Okay.
then you would go on a full body vibration for about 15 minutes, and then we do a massage targeting those areas, and we have cream that targets cellular areas
Okay.
and those kind of things. So that's what the skinny massage is. You can also opt out of the infrared sauna if you don't want to do the full thing and do a mini. So you just do the vibration and the massage itself. Of course, you can't just do that. You have to
Right.
include some healthy eating and a little
Diet
bit
and
of
exercise.
exercise and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Yeah.
Ah, darn it. I was real excited there for a second. So you just like vibrate the fat right off of people.
Well,
Not really. Not
I,
really,
I
I know.
no, I personally don't do the vibration, but there is a full body vibration thing. You literally stand on it and it vibrates and kind of breaks
Yeah.
and loosens things, for lack of a better word.
Interesting. Okay. What about I hear a lot about the bamboo fusion and I'm pretty sure I've had a massage with them before, but I don't think I know what the purpose or benefit is. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, the bamboo is heated. So
Okay.
your body, the one thing your body loves is heat. I mean, and we are at a certain temperature. We all know that. If you hurt yourself and you're looking for healing, actually, heat is the thing that does it. Heat invites white blood cells, and your white blood cells are kind of your healing cells. So
Okay.
if an area in your body is hot, which is usually that means you have a temperature or something that
Mhm.
your white blood cells said, oh, shoot, something's wrong over there. We need to go over there and fix it. So
Right.
they are your fixer cells. So anytime you put heat on your body somewhere, that's the code word to invite those cells over there.
Hmm. Okay.
So so when we heat, whether it's hot stones or bamboos, when we heat them and work with them, it promotes healing also. It improves circulation. Um, and especially even with the stones, it also allows you to work deeper without actually putting a lot of pressure.
Mhm.
So like if you a lot of people that want deep tissue, if they don't want a lot of pressure, that's actually a good option because of the heat, it
Right.
applies deeper.
Okay. Did I see that you do, oh, you do cold stones as well? Because I was just
We
thinking,
do.
like, sometimes you hurt yourself and you're like, do I heat
Yeah.
it? Do I ice it? And I've never understood until now the benefit of the heating side of it.
Yeah.
So then
So
is the cold stone, is that for like inflammation?
cold stone is for inflammation and it's for
Okay.
pain.
Okay.
Because it when it numb cold will numb an area. When it
Right.
numbs it, the pain isn't as intense.
Hmm.
So that's what that is. So and you may have heard of contrast therapy. So like
Hmm.
athletes, for instance, will do it where they'll alternate between cold and hot, or like icy hot. Like if
Hmm.
you've ever used those things, that's what that's doing. So we
Okay.
literally we will do contrast therapy. You will start working with hot stone and follow it right away with a cold stone, and so that gives you some of that relief also.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. The last massage type that I want to ask you about, and I have no clue what this is, but it's the Thai poultice massage. I have to know about this.
So poultice is actually herbs and spices.
Right.
So the Thai people have found a way to use healing and anti-inflammatory type
Hmm.
herbs and spices, and
Hmm.
they put it into a poultice. And we steam
Okay.
that poultice, and we actually use that poultice as our hands. We use that to
Oh,
actually
okay.
work on your body for it, and a lot of people swear by it
Hmm.
and stuff. So like with the bamboo fusion or the hot stone one, we're using something else as an extension of our hands.
Right.
Same thing with the poultice,
Okay.
except the poultice is harder than both the bamboo and the hot stones because
Interesting.
that's steamed, and even while we're doing it, we're putting it back in the steamer continuously
Okay.
and working with it. Whereas the hot stones, once we've removed that set of stones and start working with it, and as it releases heat, we put that set of stones away to get another hot stone. So, like the more you use it, the less hot it is. It
Right.
gradually dissipates. Whereas the poultice, it's constantly being re-steamed.
Okay. All right. There was one more thing I was going to ask you about as far as the kind of massage services. It was in your add-on list,
Mhm.
and I know what it is, and it kind of freaks me out. And so you might know what I'm going to ask you about.
Not really sure.
The cupping. The
Okay.
I don't know why it kind of freaks me out thinking about it. So I think I probably just need to be educated.
So, funnily enough, it's actually one of the less traumatic things that you can have in a
Oh,
massage room.
okay.
It creates a seal. And have you ever heard of myofascial release? So
Probably not.
your fascia is the tissue right underneath your skin. That's like if you cut up chicken, for instance,
Mhm.
you might see this really thin film over a piece of chicken breast.
Yeah.
That's fascia.
Okay.
Okay. So fascia is supposed to be move. If your muscle is in it, it moves within that muscle. And there's a fluid and all of that stuff that goes in between.
Okay.
Well, my fascia is right next to your skin. Sometimes it becomes stagnant and it doesn't move, whether it's because you've been sick in bed or you hurt it and it adheres. And cupping, when you use that, it will release that
Hmm.
as you move the cup, because the cup is applied to the skin and usually light, depending on what's going on, especially if it's myofascial release, it lifts the skin and allows it to glide. So
Okay.
that will do that. Now, if you have other different issues, depending on what kind of issue you have, it may be a deeper suction.
Okay.
But all of that is meant to help move and release some of the muscle around that area where you're moving that.
Okay.
Sometimes there are some people that do it very intensely, and you will see those cupping marks, which is probably what freaks some people out.
Yeah.
But most of the time when I do cupping, I don't leave marks. You
Okay.
can't. But it is something that depends on how deep, or whether you're doing static cupping or if you're actually moving it around.
Okay.
Which is like, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
So the moral of the story is just ask questions instead of avoiding something.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right. So next I wanted to talk to you about uh your fertility and prenatal massage services, because I know we already talked about massage a little bit, but I want to talk about those a little bit, and then your doula services. So I've had I think just one prenatal massage
Uh-huh.
when I think it was with my second pregnancy, and it was great. It wasn't obviously the same as a regular massage where you can lay on the table, but
Mhm.
can you just talk a little bit about those two things, the fertility and prenatal massage?
So fertility massage usually has to do with if you have fertility issues, issues where you can't conceive naturally. A lot of people that come to me end up having something to de-stress and basically relax them, because if you have if you're having fertility issues, it means you can't get pregnant. A lot of people may have other issues that make it hard for them to get pregnant, but they've been pregnant before, lost the pregnancy or that. All of that, then we're trying to make the environment easier for you to conceive and keep a pregnancy. Fertility massage, usually we're talking about blocked tubes, uh, polycystic ovarian cysts, those kind of things that make it really harder to actually conceive,
Right.
not actually maintain the pregnancy. So that's the difference with those things. So we do work on those. With a prenatal massage, actually, guess what? We have a prenatal table, so you actually can lay on your belly now.
I had to like lay back on a wedge the last time I did
Yeah.
one of those. It
Well,
was
no,
not comfortable.
no, I mean, there are not very many people who invest in the table. It's pretty expensive table.
Yeah.
But we do have a table that has support and stuff, and basically has a hole for your belly, so you can lay on your belly. But it also has a hole for your boobs, because your boobs get tender and get bigger.
Yeah.
So it also has that, which also means you don't have to be pregnant if you're big-chested women.
Yeah.
Can use that on you, and that table can also be used if you have surgeries and stuff where you can't lay on your stomach. So we can use
Interesting.
it for that
Okay.
also.
That's
Yeah.
that's good to know. Okay.
Yeah.
What about the doula services? Because I did not know that you were a doula, and I want to hear about this.
Well, doula services, doula is a childbirth coach. A lot of people mistake that for midwife. I am
Right.
not a midwife, so I don't do anything medical. The only medical stuff I have is because of my massage training, which I
Right.
helps me do with that and stuff. But basically, um, it's an educational thing. We help you with like birth plans, those kind of thing, answer birthing questions. We do whole classes sometimes for you to go, and then I basically will be there once you go into labor all the way till you have the baby. And once the baby is there and you guys are fully starting to adjust and stuff, then I'll slip out.
Right. We actually had a doula with our second
Mhm.
and third pregnancies, and
Mhm.
I am 100% convinced that having the doula the second time around is
Mhm.
why I had a successful VBAC. And
Mhm.
I couldn't imagine having not having her there.
Mhm.
And I think that not enough people know about the service and how valuable it can be. So I'm really glad that I know that you do this now.
Well, I'm hoping that people will hear this because the state of Michigan, the governor thinks it's important enough that it is now part of Medicare in Michigan. Medicare will actually pay for you to have a doula at your birth. And the results and prognosis of people that have doulas is a whole lot better
Yeah.
for especially low income people
Mhm.
that go in, sometimes don't have any, prenatal services or that
Right.
kind of thing, to have someone, because the doula is totally your advocate. She does not report
Exactly.
to the hospital, she reports to you. You
Right.
are, for lack of a better word, her employer, and she's there just for your, well, for your family, not
Right.
just for you, but for the purposes of what you need.
Right.
And that's when you can talk to all the, from when you decide you want a doula or when you decide you cannot. Some people don't connect till the end, but when I see a doula client, I usually try to see them every month until they have the baby, because it just keeps you uh, in check, on the same
Yeah.
page, kind of thing.
Right.
And when we do birth plans, those birth plans are not said and done. Those are live documents that can continue to be edited and upgraded until you literally have the baby.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think that it's so important because
Mhm.
you don't know what you don't know. When you're in that situation, you don't know what you can ask for and you don't know what the options are. And I can't tell you how different my experiences were
Mhm.
from 2012 to
Mhm.
2017, and then even from 2017 to 2019. And I
Mhm.
had all three of them at Sparrow.
Mhm.
Um, the experiences were so different. And um, having someone there who knows the little tricks and the things to try to help with different situations and what to ask for. You just don't even know. And then yeah, the Medicare thing is amazing. The C-section rates with the African American community are absolutely ridiculous. And the even just the mortality rates, it's just it it's a need. It's a big need.
One of the biggest things, actually, I found this out with my very first client, because she decided that she didn't think her husband was really connecting with the pregnancy. So she didn't want to get mad at him. So she decided to have a doula. That way, if he failed, she would still, okay, she
Have
had the
someone.
support.
Right.
And he kind of took it negatively. He thought she was trying to usurp his position and
Uh,
all of that stuff. And so when I did the first home visit that I did, because she was going to labor at home before the hospital. And we talked, and he asked questions, stuff. She then, after that, told me that because I actually usurped some of what she thought, and because of his responsibility, she said he felt much better about me being there. And then he also, and more than one dad has said this too, when they watch me, and if I don't look like I'm panicking or getting like upset, they know everything's going well, which
right.
I didn't even think about
Yeah.
until I heard that feedback, because they're looking to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And I had helped a woman during COVID whose husband caught COVID and wasn't allowed in the hospital, even though
Oh,
he was testing negative by them, but he had to be negative for a certain number of days before he could. poor man had to watch on a selfie stick on the phone. But I
Oh,
remember at one point he was like, okay, I really need to just talk to you, and he asked me a bunch of questions and stuff like that. And I think it was so helpful for him to know that even though he wasn't there, and that when he
yeah,
was asking questions, that he was being taken seriously and
yeah,
not just ignored because he was on a selfie stick.
yeah.
And I never thought I'd have that experience, but I felt really bad for him.
I can't imagine having to do it like that. Wow.
I know.
Yeah,
I mean, how boring. Well, it's not maybe boring because more worrying if you're at
yeah,
home and you can't be there and it's your baby and you're not going to be the first or
yep,
second person to see it.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that you highlighted something as you were telling that story that most people, I think, overlook, or at least we did initially.
Mhm.
The doula is not just for the mom. I mean,
It's not-
when we decided to have a doula for our second and we knew we wanted a VBAC, a big part of it was that my husband was very stressed out with the first one when we had an unexpected C-section. And having her there for that second time around helped him a lot too, helped him to stay calm so he could support me. And so it's not just for mom, it's really for the whole family. So,
And not only that, a lot of, I mean, and I think dads have a hard time with it too. Sometimes, I mean, most births don't happen in 5 hours.
yeah.
You need a break. You
Yeah.
need to unplug, even if it's for 10 minutes and have a cup of coffee.
Yep.
And if you don't have the doula there, you're not going to feel comfortable taking that break.
Right.
You're going to feel like you're deserting her. You know, even if you do want a break, you're not going to ask for a break if your wife or your partner is going through labor for 32 hours. You're going to think, oh, okay, I can't just leave for 10 minutes because I've been standing here holding her hand for 5 hours.
Right. That's a good
Right.
point too. Yeah. Okay. One last thing I was going to ask you about is I noticed on your website you mentioned classes, and then I'm also just curious if you have any upcoming events.
Right now, I don't have classes going on because we really kind of cut down on the classes during COVID.
Mhm.
I do the classes through my nonprofit, so the fees, if there's fees connected with those, they go towards supporting the nonprofit and
Okay.
stuff like that. And so I am just restarting to bring that back up so that we can start, and we'll probably start having classes by the fall now
Okay.
is what we're
All
looking
right.
at. I actually have my own grandchild I'm looking forward to within the next week or so. So
Yay.
I'm not doing classes right now. I'm kind of being very selfish with my time, for lack of a better word.
Okay. Are there any events coming up this fall that you're participating in or anything that we can be looking forward to?
Well, we do the breast. It's a breast thing, so we show up there. We do things for that. And right now, that's the only thing set in stone. The other stuff has not actually. We have not declared dates for.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much for joining me today and sharing all of this information.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I didn't know that I had that much information.
Usually there, once you start talking, it flows out. So I will share all of your contact information in the caption for the video. And then if anybody watching is interested or has a family member who's interested in booking a massage or is wanting to take advantage of any of the other services, I strongly urge you to reach out. And then if you're interested in participating in the Follow Friday series, you can send me an email at katrina@cornerstonelegalplc.com. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.